Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of TaughtToProfit.com, and today I wanted to talk to you about some wisdom about buying and selling in anything, stocks, cryptocurrency, whatever it may be, from the past. One of the most famous families financially known to man and also linked to all kinds of conspiracy theories is the Rothschild family. But one of the quotes made by the first Baron Rothschild was this. This is Nathan Rothschild. He said this: "Fortunes are made by buying low and selling too soon." Now, the common twist on this phrase is buy low, sell high. But his point was very important that many people miss. You buy at a low price, a reasonable price, and you sell too soon. Doesn't that sound like you're losing money because you're not selling high? Well, you are selling high, but you're not selling at the all-time market high. You're waiting to see where the price is going. And so when a price is going up, instead of selling at the top, you wait to see, is it going to go up even higher? Maybe it won't, maybe it'll pull back down, and then you sell. So you're not selling at all-time highs. You're not buying at all-time lows either. You're buying at a low price, and you're selling at a high price, but not necessarily the highest price. Because here's the reality. It's impossible to time the markets that way. You may get lucky and just accidentally, every now and then, get out at the highest point and buy at the lowest point. But that's pretty rare. The wisdom is in finding a good price to buy in at something that's worth buying at a low price right now, waiting it out till it hits a high price, and then watching to see if it's going to go even higher. And if it pulls back, then you sell, take your profit. You don't have to sell all of it. You could sell part of your shares, part of your crypto, whatever it may be. So you lock in some profits, and then if it keeps going down, you haven't lost all your profit potential. But this is where fortunes are made. And this is what many people fail to understand in money. How often have you heard people say, buy low, sell high, as if anyone with any kind of sense wouldn't do that? Of course you'd buy at the lowest if you could, and you'd sell at the highest. No one goes in thinking, you know what, I'm going to buy high and sell low. No one plans that way. That'd be idiotic. But that's what happens with most people. They buy maybe even at a low price, but it goes higher, they hold out, they're greedy, they don't sell, it starts pulling back, then they get greedy even more, saying, well, it's going to go back up, I'm just going to hold out. And it keeps going down, until eventually it's lower than what they bought, and eventually they get forced sometimes. They either get a margin call or they have some sort of need come up and they have to sell it because they need the money. That's the average person's life cycle of finance, of making bad choices in stocks and cryptocurrency and options and whatever it may be. But I want you to heed this wisdom. You don't have to like the Rothschilds, it doesn't matter at all. But heed wisdom when someone that is from one of the most wealthy families in the entire world that's ever existed, whether you think they're behind nefarious things going on and all these Illuminati and all this stuff, that didn't even matter. That's for a different discussion. But for this discussion about finance, you want to at least hear these people out, because these are people who have made tremendous wealth. These are generations of fortunes, massive amounts of wealth, controlling all the banks for the most part in the world. You want to listen to people like that. They understand finance. Doesn't mean you behave like they do, but there's wisdom here. Fortunes are made by buying low and selling too soon. My friend, I want you to really ponder that, think about that. And next time when you're going and you're making a decision for a stock or a cryptocurrency, whatever it may be, do lock in some of the profit, but don't be the person that's waiting to sell high and just keeps waiting until it keeps dropping and dropping. Get that profit. It's much better to lock in 20% profit than to lock in a 20% loss. And too often people are trying to get 100% profits, and in the process they wait and wait as the price is dropping, and they wind up having to lock in losses. And that, my friend, is a fool's errand. Now, if you sell on eBay, Etsy, Amazon, whatever it may be, you sell at a flea market, how many times have you had inventory that you bought at a low price and you tried to sell at the high and you kept waiting it out, thinking somebody's going to come and buy this product at this price? And that magical person never arrives. And you eventually have to clear that item out and sell it at a loss. This principle applies across the board in all kinds of areas in finance, anything where you're buying something and selling it. Don't let yourself be fearful and don't let yourself be greedy. The problem with this is that many people will get greedy and they'll want to hold to the most profit they can possibly get, instead of the wisdom of saying, you know what, this item is worth a lot right now. Let me lock in the profit I can get right now. It might go to the moon, but I'm going to lock in some profit right now. I'm not going to be a fool and hold on to this and wait and hope and dream that it's going to go to the moon when it may not. Now, this isn't for you to be negative. It's for you to be realistic. Look at the markets, look what's going on around you, and start taking some profit. Be wise about your decisions. Be wise in selling, whatever it may be. So often these twin emotions of fear and greed rule people's decisions. They think they're making logical decisions. They'll say they're making logical decisions, and yet fear and greed rule them. They're twin gods controlling them that they bow the knee to. And yet you can rise above that. You don't have to follow what the average person is doing, what is going on all around you. People panic sell and people buy because they're getting greedy. They sell in a panic. That fear is kicking in. Oh no, I'm going to lose. I better sell. There's a wise way you can do this. You can approach things systematically as well. You can say, you know what, I'm going to buy this cryptocurrency. Once it goes up 20%, I'm going to sell half of my holdings. Then, if it does drop down, and I still believe in the project, I believe in the cryptocurrency, I'm going to buy some more. And I'm going to wait it out. And as it goes up, I'm going to start taking some profit. I'm going to sell off some more of it. But you're wise about it. And you may want to hold on to some long term, but along the way you may sell. And then as there's some drops, you buy up some more during those drops, which happen. You look at any market, things rise and fall. Now, if you're selling physical goods, that may be different. If you're selling a service, that may be different. If you're selling a service, for example, computer repair, well, 10 years ago, that was very needed. People were getting viruses all the time. There was a constant need for software-related computer repair. But today, with the various versions of Windows and Mac, it just doesn't happen. And so many people using mobile operating systems that are pretty stable, don't have very many viruses for the most part, are easy to fix if they do get a virus. The need for that kind of skill is pretty much dwindling. And you can't command the same $100, $200 an hour you used to be able to command, because there's a lot of people that can do it and not a lot of people wanting it. This is where you be intelligent. Move into other areas that may complement that business and expand into those. So often the largest businesses didn't start doing the thing that made them the largest businesses in the world. If you look at Amazon, their humble beginnings as a bookseller to multimedia, they control so much of the cloud. Their massive television database, plus being one of the largest marketplaces in the world for people to trade their goods. And nothing started like that. They were a bookseller. And so something to also consider, if you're going to make a fortune, you're going to have this long-term wealth, is to look for the opportunities that come your way. If something's not working, don't give up. Don't quit. but maybe you veer a little bit to a different course. If you see that things aren't going the direction you want them to, move over to something different. Don't just keep blindly, belligerently, and foolishly continuing in an endeavor that you can tell is dying, that you can see all the writing on the wall telling you this business is coming to an end if I do not move in a different direction. If your service is no longer needed, you're going to wind up selling it low because there's not going to be a lot of need for it, and you're going to have to sell it at a really low price. Instead, buy low, have a service or a good that you can sell at a higher price. You may not sell at the highest price, but you can sell it at a high enough price that there's good profit potential and there's enough people who will want to pay that. Because on either end, the really low end or the really high end, there's not a lot of people for those. Maybe on the low end there might be a lot more people, but that's a lot more of a problematic customer. And on the high end, there's a very few people that might want that high-end service or that high-end product. But there might be money to be made in that. The point being is be wise. Look for opportunities that are available to you every single day. And don't hold something that should have been sold previously. Sell it, take your profits, or even a loss if you have to, and move on. But learn from this wisdom. Fortunes are made buying low and selling too soon. You'll never time the markets perfectly. You'll never get into a business at the perfect time. And as things change, you adapt, you maneuver, you change with it. And your whole entire business plan may change. Your whole entire business may morph into something else, something bigger and greater. And if you're trading stocks, you're trading cryptocurrency, whatever it may be, you heed this wisdom. You buy low and you sell soon. You're not holding out for the unicorn, magical selling at the top of the market and the fantasy world of buying at the absolute rock bottom. Use wisdom, my friend. Be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.